Hello, my dear students. How are you all? Let's add value to your knowledge account today. I'm Dr. Bharati Sunil. Welcome to our Finance and Accounting Academy channel. Our today's class is on ratio analysis classification. Why classification matters? Imagine walking into a pharmacy where medicines are randomly scattered everywhere. Headache pills are mixed with cardiac medicines and syrups next to injections. Is it confusing? Right. That's why pharmacy organizes medicines by category like headache relief, painkillers, cardiac care, etc. Similarly, there are dozens of financial ratios. So classification helps us organize them by what aspect of business they analyze, making them easier to understand, remember, and apply. So, what is classification of ratios? So, financial ratios are systematically grouped into specific categories based on the specific aspect of business performance they measure. So, this classification helps users to select the right ratio for analyzing specific business questions. These ratios are classified into six. So, according to ratio analysis classification, ratios are divided into six. What's the first one? Traditional classification. Second one, functional classification. Third one, classification on the basis of importance of ratios. Next, fourth one, classification on the basis of usage. Next, fifth one, classification on the basis of point of time. And sixth one, classification on the basis of nature of ratios. So now coming to the first one, according to traditional classification, ratios are divided into three. What's the first one? Balance sheet ratios. Second one, profit and loss account ratios. Third one, mixed ratios. So what are balance sheet ratios? Means when you are writing one ratio, means say for example 2 is to 1, means 2 is numerator and 1 is denominator, right? So when you are writing this ratio, if a numerator and denominator belongs to balance sheet only, means it is called balance sheet ratio. I will show you one example. Say current ratio. Current ratio is equal to current assets by current liabilities. So in this you can understand that current assets will come under balance sheet and the current liabilities also will come under balance sheet. So with this what you can understand, if the numerator and denominator belongs to balance sheet only, then these ratios are called what? Balance sheet ratios. Means when we are picking up the data from balance sheet and preparing ratios, those ratios are called balance sheet ratios. Now coming to the second one, profit and loss account ratio. So in this numerator and denominator both belong to profit and loss account. Here you have to understand one thing, that trading account and profit and loss account both are called what? Income statements. So income statement means what? Trading account and profit and loss account. So if you are taking one ratio from income statement, whether it is from trading account or profit and loss account, so if you are taking numerator and denominator from income statement, that is trading account and profit and loss account, then those ratios are called what? Profit and loss account ratios. So here if you are taking one ratio, that ratio is 2 is to 1, say in this numerator and denominator both belong to income statement only, means profit and loss account or trading account only, then it is called what? Profit and loss account ratio. Here I will show gross profit ratio. So what is the ratio? Gross profit by net sales into 100. So here gross profit where you will get under trading account, and net sales also will get from trading account. Means just now I told you trading account means what? Income statement, right? So if numerator and denominator belongs to the income statement, that then those ratios are called profit and loss account ratios. I will show you another example. Net profit ratio. So net profit ratio, what is the numerator? Net profit. And what's the denominator? Net sales into 100. So here, this will, where you will show net profit will show in profit and loss account. And where you will show net sales will show in trading account. So whether it is trading account or profit and loss account, both are called what? Income statements. So when you are preparing net profit ratio or gross profit ratio, we will take numerator and denominator from income statement only. So those ratios are called what? Profit and loss account ratios. Now coming to the third one, mixed ratios. Then what is the meaning of mixed ratio? Mixed ratio means combination of these two. Means if you take numerator from profit and loss account and denominator from balance sheet, or numerator from balance sheet and denominator from profit and loss account, whatever it is, means it is called what? Mixed ratio. So here I will show you mixed ratio. What is mixed ratio? Where we are finding numerator from profit and loss account and denominator from balance sheet, then it is called what? Mixed ratio. So here I will show you debtors turnover ratio. What's the formula for debtors turnover ratio? Net credit sales by average or closing debtors. Where you will find net credit sales? In income statement, right? So means you have to understand that it is trading account or profit and loss account. It is called income statement. So you will find from income statement, and denominator you find from balance sheet. Means where you will get debtors on the asset side under current assets you will get. So this will come under income statement, right? And this will come from balance sheet. So this ratio is called what ratio? Mixed ratio. Clear? Take screenshot. Now we'll come to the second one, that is functional classification. I will rub this. Second one, functional classification. Under functional classification, we can see liquidity ratios, profitability ratios, and earnings ratios. So what are liquidity ratios? Liquidity ratios are prepared to know the liquidity of the business. Means these ratios will test whether the company is having the repayment ability of their current liabilities. So that is why we prepare liquidity ratios. So what are those liquidity ratios? Current ratio. Next, quick ratio. Next, we'll also prepare absolute quick ratio. So these three ratios will tell us whether the company is having ability to repay all its current liabilities. So in current ratio, what you will check? You will check current assets by current liabilities. Means what are your current assets and what are your current liabilities. If current assets are 2 and current liabilities are 1, means you are having very satisfactory position to repay your current liabilities. Say if you take quick ratio, and if the quick ratio is 1:1, then you can say that your company is having comfortable position in repaying your quick liabilities by using quick assets. So what's the difference between current asset and quick asset? Whatever the current assets are there, from that if you deduct stock and prepaid expenses, then you will get what? Quick assets. Next, coming to the absolute quick ratio. What is this absolute quick ratio? Means here you are taking only easily convertible current assets, means marketable securities, bank balance, and cash balance. So using that, you will calculate and check whether you are having ability to repay your current liabilities. So what's the ideal ratio for that? 0.5:1. So what is the ideal ratio for current ratio? It is 2:1. And what is the ideal ratio for quick ratio? It is 1:1. And what is the ideal ratio for absolute quick ratio? It is 0.5:1. So like this, we will check and we will see whether the company is having adequate liquidity to repay their current liabilities. Means here, the company should not have excess liquid funds or shortage of liquid funds. So for that, we will check using these ratios. Here we'll also use stock turnover ratio, debtors turnover ratio. These ratios we'll use to check whether the company is having adequate liquidity with them. Here we can also check our liquidity position because we have to replace our stock. So when you prepare stock turnover ratio, you will understand how many times you have to refill your stock so that you can have good sales in your business. And the next debtors turnover ratio will prepare to see in how many days you can collect your debts from your debtors. Next, coming to the second one, profitability ratios. What are profitability ratios? So in profitability ratios, we'll prepare gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, operating profit ratio. So these ratios will prepare to see how effectively we are doing our business. Say for example, if the gross profit ratio is very good, but the net profit ratio is decreased when you compare with the last year. So here what you can understand means here the operating efficiency of the business got decreased. So like that we will check our profitability by using profitability ratios. Now coming to the third one, earnings ratios. What do you mean by earning ratios? Means we prepare earning ratios to know how much of profit is earned, how much of returns are earned, how much are profits or how much of returns are earned by the equity shareholders or owners of the business. Earnings per share ratio, dividends per share ratio. We prepare this type of ratios to know how much of returns they have earned on the investments, whatever they have made in the business. Next, we'll go to classification on the basis of importance of ratios. So, what's the first one? Primary ratio. Second one, secondary ratio or supporting ratio. So, what are primary ratios? Means which are very important to make analysis and interpretation. Those ratios are called what? Primary ratios. So, for example, return on capital employed is our primary ratio. And what are secondary ratios or supporting ratios? These ratios are used to support and explain primary ratios. So, primary ratios example is return on capital employed. And what's the example for secondary ratio? Operating profit ratio. Now coming to the fourth one, classification on the basis of usage. So what's the first one under that? Ratios for management. So for management purpose, what ratios we will calculate? We calculate operating ratio, we'll calculate stock turnover ratio. So these two ratios we'll calculate to know the managerial efficiency of the business. And coming to the second one, ratios for creditors. So for creditors, what ratios will prepare? Creditors turnover ratio, current ratio, debt equity ratio. So creditors turnover ratio will prepare to check in how many days we can repay our creditors. Next, current ratio will prepare to know the ability of the company to meet our short-term debts. Next, debt equity ratio will prepare to know the solvency of the business, long-term solvency of the business. Now, for shareholders' sake, what ratios will prepare? Will prepare return on capital employed, earnings per share, and dividend per share. So, why these ratios we prepare? So, these ratios are prepared by shareholders to know the fruitfulness of their capital that is invested by them in the business. So for that purpose, return on capital employed, earnings per share, dividend per share, like these type of ratios are prepared. So coming to the fifth one, classification on the basis of point of time. So under that, first one is what? Structural ratios. Means structural ratios are prepared at a point of time. Means say for a particular accounting period. Next, trend ratios are computed from the data relating to different periods of time. So that is why it is called trend ratios. Trend ratio means, say for example, we are computing trend ratio for certain period, 2021 to 2025. If you're calculating for 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, like this, if you're computing for 5 years, it is called uh, trend ratio. Say if you are computing for only 1 year on a particular point of time, then it is called structural ratio. Next, coming to the sixth one, nature of ratios. Under nature of ratios, we are having liquidity ratios. Liquidity means what? How easily we can convert into cash form. So what you want to convert into cash form, say if you take the example of current assets. What are current assets? Debtors, stock, marketable securities, etc. Okay, bills receivable. So all these current assets, what, how we are able to convert into cash form? Why we have to convert into cash form? To meet our short term obligations. So to pay what? To pay creditors, to pay bank overdraft, to pay bills payable, hmm, or any short term loan, we have to convert these current assets into current liabilities. So to know about our liquidity position, we'll prepare liquid ratios. So these liquid ratios will tell us our short term solvency position. Now coming to the second one, leverage ratios. Leverage ratios means debt equity ratio, net worth ratio, hmm, capital gearing ratio. These ratios we prepare to know the long term solvency of the business. Means how you can able to sustain your business in the long term. For that purpose, we prepare long term solvency ratios. Say for example, if creditors want to sell us raw materials, they will check our short term solvency. So for that purpose, what we prepare? We prepare liquidity ratios or current ratios, right? Say for example, if banker wants to provide us long-term loans, say for a period of 15 years, so banker wants to know what is our long-term solvency also. Means whether we are able to repay this amount for longer period, how we are able to sustain. Example I am giving for bankers, but other stakeholders also will check our ability to sustain in the long term. So for that purpose, what you prepare? Long-term solvency ratios. Under long-term solvency ratios, what will come? Debt equity ratio means how much of debts we can borrow from others with the amount of capital whatever we have invested in our business. Means our ability to borrow funds from the outsiders, we can come to know with our debt equity ratio. Now, coming to the third one, turnover ratios. Under turnover ratios, what we'll understand, what is our performance, means what is the efficiency or effectiveness of the business in managing its resources or its assets. It's called what? Turnover ratios. So in turnover ratios, if you see stock turnover ratio, means you will prepare the stock turnover ratio in to know how many times we have to replace our stock. How can you understand this ratio? Because if you are replacing the stock, means refilling the stock, means you are able to sell more number of times, right? So if your stock turnover ratio is more, means we are say if your stock turnover ratio is 8, means we are able to sell our stock very quickly. Say if the stock turnover ratio is only 4, means our stock is kept idle, means we are selling at a very slow rate. So stock turnover ratio, we want to know for how many times we have to replace our stock, right? Now coming to the debtors turnover ratio. Debtors turnover ratio, in how many days we can collect our debts from our debtors, means to whom we have sold our goods on credit basis. So from them, in how many days we can collect? We can check only through debtors turnover ratio. Next, creditors turnover ratio. What is the meaning of creditors turnover ratio? Means from whom we have purchased our raw materials or goods on credit basis. So in how many days we can repay their amounts. So we can come to know through creditors turnover ratio. Next, fixed assets turnover ratio, total assets turnover ratio. Like that, we are having many ratios under turnover ratios. So these turnover ratios are also called activity ratios or performance ratios. And we'll prepare DTR to know the relationship between sales and debtors, and we will prepare CTR to know the relationship between creditors and purchases. Now we are coming to the fourth one under nature of ratios, profitability ratios. So what are profitability ratios? Profitability ratios are prepared to know our profitability position. So for that purpose, we prepare gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, operating profit ratio, next return on capital employed, return on net worth. So like this, we'll prepare different ratios based to know our profitability position. I will explain all these ratios in very detailed way in the coming videos. You have understood that ratio analysis got classified into traditional classification, functional classification, and a classification on the basis of importance of ratios, usage of ratios, and at a point of time, next nature of ratios. So this is for today's class. That's all for today, but learning never stops. In the next video, I will explain about preparation of current ratios, how we have to analyze financial statements to prepare current ratios using formulas. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe, and please share to those students who are having these subjects. I'm also preparing videos on cost accounting, business economics and financial accounting. Keep learning, keep growing. Thanks for watching. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you.